So Arsenal 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. The scoreline, don't let that fool you. It could have been about 7-1. And it probably should have been the amount of missed opportunities we had today. Came out the traps real quick. We're thinking, oi, this is the same as Wednesday when we played Lons. And then it kind of petered out. We kind of, I wouldn't say fizzled out. We were always in control of the game. But the last 5 minutes plus 7 minutes or 6 minutes stoppage time, whatever it was, a little bit siege mentality from them lot, and our backs are against the wall. Before we get into player ratings, make sure you are subscribed to Jez's channel, Arsenal History and More. It'll be in the title, people, if I can squeeze it in. Worst ways, it's in the description. And make sure you sub to me as well. That'd be great. And I'm going live for a Man United watch-along against Newcastle. So make sure you come and check that out as well. But Jez, for anyone who hasn't seen your fan cam, mate, give us your little breakdown of how you see that today.
Well, it was a great start, great intensity. We basically were taking them apart. They didn't have a clue what was going on. They looked like rabbits in the bloody headlights. And yeah, it was a great start. I can't deny. I thought, here we go. This is going to be 4-0 by half time. Game over, job done. And we just enjoy the second half. But no, great start, slackened. I don't know why. Second half, it was not great. It was okay. It was okayly, but it wasn't great. We just seemed to sit there. I'm not sure the substitutions were right at the right time, but I'm not going to criticise that. I just think the players, I don't know what was the instructions they were getting from the manager. I don't know. It's a bit weird to me. But we got away with it. It's another 3 points, mate. We're top of the league. I'll take it on the chin. It's one of them ones, but that should have been a battering on Wolverhampton because they were there to be actually taken apart and we didn't do it.
Yeah, and not only that, the goal difference as well. Obviously, listen, if we're going to stay in this, then the goal difference could come into play. And the goal difference, Man City have got 20, we've got 18. Obviously, it would have been 19 if we hadn't conceded that late goal. But if we'd taken even half of the big chances we had, we would have been about 4 clear of them. Yeah, and that's almost as good as a point at the end of the season if it comes down to that. But listen, you know how this works, people. If you want to cry about the ratings, we don't care. We're back on Tuesday against Luton, 8:15 kickoff UK time. And leave your comments down below if you want to cry. Let's start with the goalkeeper, Jez. He must be absolutely seething that he conceded the goal today because his performance didn't warrant conceding the goal, did it, mate?
Not at all. I felt sorry for him. That first half, he must have been absolutely bloody frozen because it's over in the UK right now. It's bloody freezing cold. It really is. At the Emirates today, apparently it was 0 degrees. The poor guy must have been sitting there thinking, oh, God, he must have, I didn't see it, but I'm guessing he's probably having a little jog about, keep himself warm, don't want to pull any muscles. Fair play to the fella. I'll give him a 6 because he didn't have a lot to do. I bet he's so pissed off that he conceded that goal. And it wasn't his fault. It was a good goal, in fairness.
Great strike. Very good strike.
It was a cock-up from our midfield. Zinchenko, big mistake there, I'm afraid. And I put a lot of the blame on him. And, it's lack of mentality.
Concentration, arrogance.
So, sorry, mate. David Raya, you didn't have a lot to do. I'll give you a 6.
Yeah, it's hard to rate a goalkeeper when it's such a one-sided game, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you're then looking for the basics, like the tiny little minuscule things. It's hard. It is hard. But yeah, I'd agree. 6. Let's go with he went off injured with a calf strain in the end. But again, Ola's man, Tomiyasu, he came out the traps quick and set up the first goal. Great footwork from Saka. We'll come to him in a bit, but he was brilliant again today, wasn't he, Jez?
Yeah, and Tomiyasu, he's looking to sign a new contract. I hope he does. I actually like this guy. I know Ola does. I do. I think I said from day one when he first came in. After about 6 games, I thought this guy's decent. He's proven it. The only problem I've got with him is his injury issues, but I'll give him a 7. I thought he's decent again.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully he's not out for long, because we've seen him out for 4 months with a calf injury before. So hopefully it was just a little bit of cramp. Let's move to the opposite side. He gifted them a goal, really. Other than that, he didn't have a lot to do defensively. I know he had a bit of a cock up with Gabriel Magalhaes and David Raya made a save. 2 errors, cool, fair enough, whatever. 1 led to a goal, 1 didn't. But other than that, he was pretty good today. What did you make of Zinchenko, number 35?
Yeah, Zinchenko, I thought, he didn't do too much wrong. He did gift 2 big mistakes. 1 cost us the goal. That annoyed me because he again, that's lack of concentration, Lee. And, you can't afford to do that. If that was against Man City, Liverpool, no, you can't afford to do that. So I was going to give him a higher rating. I was going to give him an 8 until that happened. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think I would have given him an 8 as well until he did that. But it's what it is. Let's go to Gabriel Magalhaes. Again, the cock up with Zinchenko, but other than that, you never since the World Cup ended, the turn of this whole calendar year, I say it every week, he has actually been our best defender.
Yeah.
There was one where they were trying to look for a penalty and he was telling the fella to get up.
Yeah,
it weren't a pen, but other than that, we didn't really see our defenders, really, did we, for most of the game?
Not really.
The only reason we can see Zinchenko and Tommy is because they're further forward, but the 2 centre backs, difficult to rate both of them, similar to the keeper. But what did you make of him, mate?
I thought Gabriel Magalhaes. I thought I made a note of it actually. That challenge he made, and it was class, and the fact he was he got the bloke's shirt, didn't he? He was like, "Get up, get out of it."
Calling me, get up.
Yeah, he's like, "Get out of here," and that's what we want from these defenders. Bit like the old David O'Leary, Adams type of players that get the hell out of here, man. I haven't done nothing to you. I've just beat you and I'm better than you and I've got the ball. So sod off. Yeah. Gabriel Magalhaes, I'll give him an 8.
Partner in crime, William Saliba. I'm fairly booked in my opinion as well. First booking of the season for him, which is staggering considering he's a centre back. But yeah, that just shows how good both of our centre backs have been this season, really.
Yeah, another class performance at the end of the day, mate. Solid, didn't really do anything wrong at all. Wasn't really challenged too much until the latter part of the second half, the last 20. I'll give him an 8 because I thought he's class again.
Yeah, let's go into midfield. Another one that's actually had 0 bookings in the Premier League after 14 games. Declan Rice. He's a pest, this guy, isn't he? Always a toe in the way, a body in the way, and even if he can't get the ball, he'll put you off balance. And the last couple of games, he hasn't stood out as much as the rest because the other midfielders have actually turned up. Yeah, but again, what did you make of him, mate? Because I thought he was good again today.
Absolutely class. Showed his absolute levels of what he's about. He was commanding yet again. Oh, and I've had to think about this one again. Was he my man of the match? I don't know. I've got 2 in mind. Levels. I mean, this guy is he had a couple of opportunities, 2 opportunities to score a goal. And they weren't that far away, were they? Let's be fair. Let's get it right. So, I'm going to give him an 8.
Let's go to Trossard. For me, don't let me sway you, but for me, I didn't really see him, if I'm honest. Very quiet, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it was because the other players shone better than him. I don't know, but I don't like seeing him in that midfield role. And I think he's better up front or on the wing. But He went bad. He went bad, but he was. I said in my fan cam, he was the only real disappointment for me today. I want to see a bit more from you, but it is what it is. Didn't really matter.
Yeah, I think I totally agree to a point. I didn't think he was that bad. I think that he doesn't fit that role personally. He doesn't seem to link up very well with Zinchenko. And I don't think he links up with Martinelli in that position. He looks a little bit out of sorts. But I think I think he did a job. I think he was still okay, to be fair to you. But not his ideal position. But he did decent work. I'll give him a 7.
Let's go to our captain. Captain's performance today, Jez. Captain throwback from last season. Left-footed finish outside of the box. Keeper rooted, bottom bins. And I thought that was one of his better performances. Probably his best performance this season, if I'm being completely honest. Laid one on a plate for Eddie as well. And was involved in all of the good work we did.
Yeah. Odegaard today, I thought, absolutely bossed himself. And fair play. I think this guy is one of these players that is great and not great. He's great and he's not good. I think today he played with a midfield that settled him. He had a front three in front of him that he could work with in the way that he could I mean, some of his ball distributions today were absolute class. And it's a lovely goal. Lovely goal. He gets an 8 from me.
I totally agree. I thought it was a great finish. And that's something that we've seen him do a lot last season. And yeah, big up to him, man. Let's go to Gabriel Martinelli. He was doing all the fancy dance, all the tricks and skills. He was dragging us up the pitch. On another day, maybe would have scored. Instead, he didn't. He hit the post. What did you make of him? He got subbed off towards the end. But what did you make of him, mate?
I thought he's class. Absolute class. Trickery. Absolute trickery. And I love seeing that when he does that. I know he tried a couple of clever little things that didn't quite come off, but he's young. He's a young guy. And absolute brilliance is going to come from that young man, in my opinion. That's my opinion. And I'll give him an 8.
Yep. Let's go to Star Boy. Got us off and running. Again, another one that he kind of glides up the pitch. I said this in my watch along. Like, he's not lightning quick, but he attracts 2 players every time.
Yeah.
And what he's got mastered, he's actually mastered this, is skipping up the pitch. Yeah, skipping up the pitch, not really very quickly, but he drags you. All of a sudden, he's now dragged you 30 yards backwards. Yeah, and he can drop inside or he can go down the wing. Yeah, he scored a cracking goal. The footwork in the box was unreal. Probably should have scored another. Yeah, instead he didn't. He put it over the bar by millimetre. I think it skimmed the bar, actually. It would have been a great goal. One of the goals of the season, or goal of the month, should I say. Although I think Garnacho's wrapped that award up. But again, he should have probably squared it to Eddie and we would have been 3-0 up. But that's the only criticism I've got of Saka today. He was absolutely quality today, and he was again on Wednesday. Back-to-back 2 quality performances, mate.
Yeah, he's almost unplayable today. Wolverhampton, you could see they were panicking. Every time he got the ball, they had 2 men on him, and his little bits of trickery, they didn't know what to do with him. Fair play, lovely goal. And, I mean, the whole build-up, this is what I'm trying to say. Those first 2 goals, the first touch football was magical. It was like those boys behind you right there. That's the sort of crap they used to come up with. And it was amazing to watch. And that's when I said, I sat here on my own, right? And I've got you on up there with Ola and Matty. And I'm like listening to you, and I've got watching the game here. And I'm thinking, wow, this is proper football. This is how we used to be. It was magical. Wolverhampton didn't have a bloody clue what was going on around them. They didn't have a clue.
They're just spinning around. They're like, do I go? Do I stay? And by the time they've done that, we've gone.
Yeah, it's like, what happened there? You know, what? Saka? Wow. goal. Wow, fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, absolute class, man. 8 all day long.
Is he your man of the match?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see why. I totally get that. Yeah, I thought that was one of his best performances of the season, along with Odegaard as well. Yeah. There's a lot of 8s. Yeah, if you don't agree with man of the match, leave yours down below. Obviously, there's a lot to choose from, and when there's a lot to choose from, that tells you we've had a good game, despite not finishing our dinner. We still won the game, but like I said, the scoreline don't tell the whole story. Let's go with somebody that got subbed off. He looked extremely upset that he got subbed off, which I rate. I don't like players happy to be subbed. And Saka didn't look happy when he got subbed against Lons in midweek, and Gabby Jesus, after a hat trick of misses today, didn't look equally as happy. So what did you make of him? He's in the right spot. He just ain't finishing, Jez.
Yeah, but he's he's made the statement, I'm not a natural goal scorer.
Yeah, it's not my strong point.
Yeah, I mean,
he took that to a new level today, didn't he?
The thing is, as a number 9, right? I get that to a point, but what frustrates me, Lee, is the amount of time he falls over. You know, if he was to actually spend more time on his toes, right, then rather than falling over, looking for the foul all the bleeding time, I'm sure he'd do better. So for me, he gets downgraded to a 7. Frustrates me.
He is very frustrated. Do you know what? He's not been the same. Like when we signed him, like we all knew he weren't prolific. Yeah, and that's why I wanted another striker. So did you. Yeah, so did Kenny. So did a lot of other people. We said, yeah, he's good. He's extremely good. He's a very technically gifted footballer, but he's not a striker. Yeah, he's only most he's ever scored is 14 in a league campaign. Yeah, and it just goes to show that when Man City won the league twice without a striker, and he was the only official striker as such, he weren't getting games. They were playing Mahrez as false 9, De Bruyne false 9, Bernardo, like players like that. So yeah, cool, fantastic footballer, and he gives us a different dimension. He's dynamic, he's quick, he's tricky. Yeah, and when he's good, he's extremely good. I mean, look at his goal in midweek. Look at his goal against Man United this season. Look at what he did against Sevilla away. That Cruyff turn was unreal, mate. Yeah, and his finishing that game for his goal was good as well. But you could play him plus a striker. Yeah. We could drop Martinelli for a couple of games or sub Martinelli off and bring him on. Are you bringing him on with an Ivan Toney or an Ollie Watkins, for example, or a Dusan Vlahovic, whoever it may be? And then you've got him on the left. Now that right centre back and that right back are now occupying him like they do Martinelli and like they do with Saka. But now you've got your striker who's 6'3" and he's going to head one in. Yeah, he's wide open now because everyone's out of position. I think with him, and I think this is with us in general, all of our forward attacking players, not one of them is over 6 foot apart from 29. Yeah. And he's not the guy. Yeah, he's not the guy. I'm just watching Granada, who are 19th in the league, take a shot from Beckham-esque from inside their own half, trying to chip the goalkeeper. It didn't turn out how he wanted it. 2-0 Real Madrid still. Anyway, let's get into the subs. Let's go with 29. Because I'll be honest with you, everyone knows my thoughts on him. I was actually shocked he was dropped. 2-2, dropped. Surely, yeah, I know we've got 8 games this month, but surely when you're 2-2, play him again.
I actually am not shocked at all, actually. I think Arteta's come to a point in his reasoning with 29 is the fact that he's going to be more of an impact sub. I think that's his reasoning. I wasn't convinced today. I won't lie. I don't think it's great. But I think that's what Arteta's going down that road now. I think he's got to the point. Arteta made that statement, didn't he? I'm not sure where I'm going to play him. Start the season. Bought the player.
Yeah.
Right? I think he's now come to the point with him where he's saying, I think you can come on and make a difference.
Do you also think as well, because Pep, yeah, and everyone knows my undying love for Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez scored a hat-trick in an FA Cup semi-final. The next game against, I think it was Real Madrid or Bayern, he got dropped. Right? Do you think that, like, obviously Man City players, they obviously understand that that's the case, yeah? Because Pep makes that abundantly clear. I'm not convinced Arteta makes that abundantly clear. If he does, then cool, but we're not privy to that, so it's only my opinion, yeah? But do you also think that he dropped him today to say, well done, mate, you've scored 2 goals in 2 games, yeah? Fantastic, we've bigged you up, you've broken your duck from open play after the pity penalty, but now you're dropped. So now it's like, oh, all of a sudden, now he's thinking in his head, 29, oh, actually, now I have to level up again. So maybe it's like a reverse psychology thing. Yeah, which could be a good thing. I'm trying to give Arteta props here if anyone's questioning what I'm saying.
No, that's a fair point. I think that's a great comment, actually, is the fact that could be a little bit of psychology saying, right, okay, fella, well done. Now
bring him back down to earth.
Yeah, now you got to go prove yourself again.
Which always keeps players fresh.
I get that.
And if we keep everyone fresh like that with the fresh mentality, I mean, he done it with Lacazette. Lacazette at the start of a season once scored 3 goals in the first 3 games and got benched, didn't he? The difference is Lacazette's moody. Yeah, Lacazette's. I'm not going to label every French man moody because I don't want to be seen as prejudice or whatever, or xenophobic or whatever. But French in general are very moody. The same as the English are very what's the word I'm looking for English? English are very cocky. Yeah, we're genuinely cocky and a bit arrogant, aren't we? Yeah, but maybe that is the case. Maybe he is saying like, oh yeah, you scored 2 goals, well done. I put you in a headlock, bigged you up. Yeah, took you to the crowd, and then you did it again in midweek. But now, cool, well done. That's phase 1 completed. Yeah, now you got to go and prove it again. Now you got to prove it again, and maybe it keeps everyone on the toe. He did it with Eddie. Do you remember when Eddie played, I think, 10 games in a row without a goal? Yeah, and he kept playing him, and we're like, why does he keep playing him? Yeah, and then eventually he scores a goal, then he drops him.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Or maybe 2 goals in 2 games, then he dropped him. So it's almost like keeping him. Maybe that is the case. Listen, we know he stands there, man, motivating with, can you see a rabbit or can you see a duck? Yeah, like bellowing out, never walk alone and all that motivational speeches. Maybe he is doing that with 29. I don't know.
It's almost reverse psychology, isn't it? It's like, you know, he gives the player the chance. They sort of prove it, and he said, right, okay, you proved yourself to a point. Now I'm taking you out of the agenda, and now you've got to rethink it all. Now, if he's doing that, that's very clever psychology.
Yeah,
very clever.
But then it's now down to the mentality of the individual, isn't it? Because, like we said, with Lacazette, extremely moody. You can see that when he's punching up Cedric in training and stuff like that. He is a moody player.
The only danger I say with that, if you've got a very strong-willed player like Aubameyang was, right, you can't play them games because they'll just say, fuck off. I ain't playing your stupid game. Yeah. And that's what happened with Aubameyang. Lacazette.
Guendouzi, other players along the way as well. Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Mesut Ozil, another one. Yeah, you can't be saying you play every week and now you're on the bench every week. It's Mesut Ozil. Yeah, you've played me because of the stature and the careers these players have had. Yeah, whereas 29, yes, he's won a Champions League. Yeah, but he's flattered to deceive over 4 years or 3.5 years. But maybe, just maybe, this is the guy. Yeah, that can unlock him. Who knows? We'll see. Listen, come May, we're sat here with a title or a Champions League, Jez. None of us are crying, mate. None of us are crying. Give us his rating, mate. He didn't have a lot to do when he came on.
No. He came on. He did a job, but he didn't do a great job. I'll give him a 5.
Let's go to the striker, number 14, Eddie. Runs around a lot, doesn't he? He looks busy all the time. He looks, what's the word I can say? Clumsy is probably the best word, but he had one put on a plate for him, and you're thinking, this is your opportunity, mate, because the striker you've come on for has missed 3 in a row and admitted that he ain't a goal scorer. Can you prove that you are? One shot, one opportunity. Will you capture it or let it slip? And he let it slip.
Hits the post. Ideal opportunity there. I mean, a striker of a different level, right? Like a certain man sat behind you with a 14 shirt, yes, would have chipped that straight
So
over.
would he. So would he.
Mr. Bergkamp. Yeah.
Oh, he would have ball rolled past the keeper and backheeled it in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, a player of that level that has the ability, when that keeper's prone, right, he's going down. All you do, you don't hit the bloody post, you just dink it straight over him. Goal. See you later. That's what Henri used to do.
Yeah.
Pierre's used to do. Bergkamp used to do. That's the different levels. Anyway, I'll give you my rating of him 5.
And if anyone wants to see a nice dinked finish today, go and watch the highlights of Girona versus Valencia and watch Valencia's goal. Exactly the same scenario, clean through on goal, loads of time, keeper coming out, sat the keeper down, dinked him. Lovely goal. Let's go to the last two ain't even worth rating, if we're being honest. Kivior and Jorginho, they came on with minutes to spare. So we won't even bother rating them, if we're being honest. You know how this works, people. Firstly, it's up to me. Yeah, literally 604 subs from 90. So come on. As you finish watching this, I'll be live. If you are watching this evening, I will be live for the op along, the banter along, Newcastle versus Man U. I'm going live any second now. Make sure you sub to Jez, Arsenal history and more. And if you cry about the ratings, we don't care. We're doing this another 7 times this month, including Tuesday against Luton. We're going to do a 3, 2, 1 countdown and rate Mikel Arteta today. 3, 2, 1, 8.
6. I tell you, I'll give him a 6, Lee.
We agree all the time, Jez, but that's like 2 in a row now.
I just think he got his substitutions wrong at the wrong time. Personally, I think he could have mixed that game up. No disrespect, I'm not calling him out, but he could have mixed that up earlier. He left it. I mean, what's the point of bringing on Kivior and Thingy that time of the game? Waste of time, man. You could have mixed that midfield up, made a difference, and killed the game, but you didn't. And I'm sorry, mate, you're getting a 6 for that.
I agree with the subs. He could have, instead of bringing Eddie on, he could have put Trossard left, Martinelli up front. He could have put Trossard up front, Martinelli stays on. You could then bring 29 on, take Jesus off for 29. Yeah, all of a sudden, different dynamic. You didn't need if Trossard or Martinelli have that one-on-one, it's in the back of the net. Yeah, but it's what it is. Listen, we won the game. We're top of the league, and now we can sit there with a cigar on, watching Man City against Tottenham tomorrow, hoping, and it is hoping, that lot down the road in N17 actually get a result.
The thing is, Lee, apparently, I'm in your. People tell me I'm in your pocket that I go along with everything you say. I don't think so.
Just go and watch all of the player ratings this season. I'm not sure, and I will do this at some point. Maybe I'll do this after the watch along, and I'll just quickly go to the end of every player ratings and see what we've rated the manager. Because I don't do the players. That's just, or Kenny or Matty, whoever's on. I'll just let you guys do it. But the manager rating, yeah, I'm not convinced that we've, apart from maybe Wednesday. Oh no, even Wednesday, I think I gave him a 10. Yeah, but we've not agreed. Yeah, on the manager rating pretty much 90% of the time.
I can tell you we've agreed 3 times.
There you go.
Fact. I've got a very good memory. I can tell you, you and I have agreed when Kenny's been on as well, or Matt's been on, we've agreed, you and I have agreed 3 times.
There we go.
I'm in your pocket. You know, there we are.
It's an easy stick to beat everyone with. What you got coming up, Jez?
I'm going to do a match review tomorrow. I'm on with Northside at some point tomorrow, which will be good fun. And I might do I'm going to do sometime in the week. I'm going to do my best 11 of the 90s. That's gone down well, actually, with people's 70s, 80s, 90s. And all good fun.
The 90s, that's hard. Yeah, that's a hard one. What for best 11 of Arsenal for the 90s?
Yeah.
Oh, that's difficult. That is difficult.
It is.
That's very difficult because you got players like Merce,
Yeah.
Limpar, Overmars.
Yeah.
Overmars was late 90s, wasn't it? Like, boy, that's tough.
It's toughy.
That's
It's
very tough, mate.
And we got a certain guy coming there, Mr. Bergkamp.
Yeah, you got a Nelka as well. He came in the 90s. Wow, mate, that's hard.
Yeah,
that Ian Wright, mate. Good luck with that one.
and the goalkeepers. Jesus, man.
Did you see Bob Wilson in the crowd today, Jez?
Yes, bless him.
I've knocked on his door for double glazing once upon a time.
Yeah, top legend.
Lovely property, gated front driveway. I'm not going to say where in Stevenage he lives, but it's the nice part. But yeah, nice guy actually, very nice guy. But listen, we are going to wrap this up. Make sure you sub to Jez's channel, Arsenal History and More. Sub to me. I'm going live on Lee Reacts, and we're going to do the watch along for Newcastle versus Man United tomorrow.
I'll come in to watch.
Big up to you, man. Come on, love always. And tomorrow, I'll be doing a Man City Tottenham watch along, and then I'll be doing a Barcelona Don Diego Simeone Atleti watch along. Hopefully by then I would have sorted OBS out because it's broken since I've done my Mac update, and hopefully I'll be able to get the scoreboard and timer back up. But obviously tonight I ain't got time to figure that out. So we're out of here, people. Adios amigos. Come on, we're top of the league. Laters.